What other type of outside of the box thinking things have you done in the past to sort of lend to, I guess, employee engagement and that sort of stuff? Because I know we sort of talked about that before.
Yeah, absolutely. So, one of the things that the pandemic brought to the forefront of to me is that, fear visits us strong and it stays with the weak. And I keep saying that over and over again to myself, but then to my friends and family, because, if you live in that place of fear and it's like a stopgap, it stops your brain from being able to think about the next two or three steps. And so when the pandemic happened, yes, I was just as afraid as everyone. And a lot of you that know me know that I am a type A personality. I close off this period between December and January. And that's when I'm planning out my year. And I'm serious about it. Like, I have my calendar, nobody's allowed to talk to me. Like, don't call me. This is my time where I take care of like my brain and get me ready for the year. And like any plan, I know that things are going to change and shift, but at least I go into the year very, very focused and diligent, and I have the things laid out. Well, 2020 happened, and that's not a thing. Like, I had to throw it all out. And as I was sharing, like, I felt after I threw it out, I did have a cry. I'm not going to lie. Like, I had my little dumpster fire and I had my tear jerks and my alcohol and all the things. But there was this moment of, okay, now what? That pause where I could do anything and nobody was going to say anything. Like, I have complete freedom to screw all of this up. And guess what? It's okay. It's 2020. Like, nobody's going to say anything. And it was in that moment that I realized how rigid I had become in my own little box, and how I, I can still do anything I want to. It's 2021 and I can still do whatever I want to. And so that epiphany really helped get us through the pandemic. So one of the things that we did that I'm really, really proud of is when everything shut down and we realized that we were going virtual and everything was going to be on Zoom and on video, we realized how many of our clients were not client facing. So what does that mean? That means that they're not wearing the apparel, they don't have branded merchandise, they're going to be on these calls. So Intandem sent out catalogs to our clients with apparel and said, hey, pick your top three favorites. And we had a range. We had outerwear, we had t-shirts, we had polos, we had sweatshirts, whatever the case was. And it was across the board. And they could each pick three different items. And the response we got was tremendous. What that also did is we have in-house embroidery. So that kept our embroidery team occupied, embroidering, testing, trying out different fabrics that maybe corporate America wasn't purchasing. What it also did was ensure that all of our clients had branded merchandise that they were wearing on the Zoom calls. Then they had their executive team going, wait, where'd you get that? Hey, I didn't know you had that. So all of a sudden I had all of these logos that were digitized. They had product out in the field. Our name and our brand was out there, and we haven't stopped. And that's what's been so cool about just making that shift. And I think one of the lessons that I've learned is that you really have to understand your client first. It's all fine and good to plan what you're going to do as a company. Everybody's like, what's your corporate plan? And what is this? And what's your 5-year vision? And blah, blah, blah. That doesn't mean anything if you don't know who your client is. And so understanding what they're going through and meeting them at their space, and then creating your value journey as a company from that is really what's going to make the impact.
So how did